Good morning. I want to thank you all for being here. I'm going to make some remarks, and then we'll be hearing from Prescott Fire Chief Dan Fraijo, Arizona Public Service CEO Don Brandt, State Senator Steve Pierce, and State Representative Karen Fan. I'd like to begin this morning by reading a poem that I think captures the spirit of the lives we're honoring today. It's called "To Be a Fireman." I have no ambition in this world but one, and that is to be a fireman. The position may, in the eyes of some, appear to be a lowly one, but those who know the work which a fireman has to do believe his is a noble calling. Our proudest moment is to save lives. Under the impulse of such thoughts, the nobility of the occupation thrills us and stimulates us to deeds of daring, even of supreme sacrifice. That was written by New York City Fire Chief Edward Crocker in 1908, and I think it reflects what the Hotshots and firefighters everywhere are all about. When observing the peaceful natural beauty all around us this morning, it's hard to comprehend what happened here just a little over 3 years ago. None of us could have imagined that a bolt of lightning would ignite the deadliest wildfire in state history. But we all knew who would respond if it ever happened. Earlier this morning, up at the fatality site, I had the honor of speaking with the families of the Granite Mountain Hotshot heroes that we lost that day. And I can tell you that the emotions are still raw. The wounds are still fresh, and the unimaginable heartbreak is very real. These were young men who committed their lives and careers to public service and public safety. But they were also husbands, sons, brothers, and fathers. I'm hopeful that the dedication of this memorial park will begin to help with the healing process. In Arizona, we have always been blessed to have profiles and courage to look up to. The legacy of our military veterans, law enforcement professionals, and emergency first responders teaches us all something about how to live a life of service. The Granite Mountain Hotshots, as much as any group, embody that rich history of duty, honor, and committing to a greater cause. We all have a special place in our hearts for our firefighters. They're humble, selfless, and brave. They rise every morning knowing that at a moment's notice they could be called into a burning building, a terrorist attack, or a mountain set ablaze by Mother Nature. Firemen never think twice about the danger staring them right in the eye. Their sole purpose is to protect us. And while they don't seek our recognition, without question, they've earned it, along with our eternal respect and our steadfast commitment to be their loudest champions. As the father of 3 sons, I know the powerful example that firefighters, police officers, and first responders set for our kids. They are role models for us all, really. I know that for a lot of you, particularly the families, friends, and colleagues of these fallen heroes, that there hasn't been enough time to absorb the magnitude of your loss. And that's why it's important that we have this dedication here today. This park will be a place to reflect, to mourn, and to learn. I encourage all Arizonans, after we're finished here today, or when you have time, to hike and visit the Hotshot's trailhead and discover what made each of these men special. Today, as we dedicate the Granite Mountain Hotshots Memorial State Park, may this always be a sacred place for this community and for this state to honor the lives of those who died protecting us. And may it always serve as a testament to the danger firefighters everywhere face every day. We will never forget. May God bless you all.
Good morning. I could give Don Brandt's speech, I guess. Good thing I brought mine. As we all know, about a week after the Ducey pit fire up on Granite Mountain that many of us in Prescott watched burn, the Granite Mountain Hotshots took on their next fire here at Yarnell. They began their last journey into these very hills. The destination was not what they expected, but I take comfort in knowing that their journey eventually carried them into their resting place and a place of peace. For many of you gathered here, June 30th, 2013 started us on a long journey of unimaginable grief. And believe me, I know grief, and I share that with many of you family members. Along the way, this community of Yarnell has come together to cry for you, to cry with you, to comfort you, and to support you. Perhaps more importantly, the community came and vowed to remember who these 19 men were. I have seen the community spirit. It's all around us, people wearing purple shirts, tying purple ribbons on things in remembrance of the lost firefighters. Citizens of Yarnell have come together to build their own memorial. They've organized to meet the needs of the neighborhoods, the neighbors, the businesses that were damaged in this fire. The citizens of Prescott did the same thing. It was a home base for the Granite Mountain Hotshots. Prescott mourns as everybody mourned. Countless books have been written, videos have been filmed, reports created in an effort to find meaning and learn lessons from what happened in Yarnell. Now things like the annual Yarnell Memorial Run has been established to commemorate these lives lost and to support the local firefighters. To those and other examples, our state now, through this special legislation, can add this Memorial State Park dedicated to those 19 to preserve and protect the Granite Mountain Hotshots' last steps and their last stand for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. 3.5 years ago, devastation hit our area. Not only was it a sad time, but it was particularly a sad time because so many of us knew so many of these young men. Wade Parker was still in in his mother's womb, I should say, at the time. Danny and Michelle worked for me at the time that she was pregnant with Wade. It was interesting that the night that this happened, Speaker Tobin called me and said, Karen, we have a terrible travesty that happened. It's really bad. And he explained to me what had happened. First thing in the morning, Speaker Tobin came down to the site, asked Sheriff Master what did he need. Sheriff Master said, I need 19 flags now, which was done immediately. I went to the middle high school, which is where the family started to gather. And at that point, not only did I understand that this was a small community, but more small than I thought, as I turned around and every day as more people showed up, realizing that I didn't even know that this was this person's grandchildren or child or stepson. But somehow we were all intertwined and intermingled. That's what makes this so very special. Not just a tragedy, but because we are all family, and they were all family to us. Their job was not just a fireman's job. It was a job of a dedication of love and commitment to serve their country, their families, their areas, and protect us. And today, I think what we're giving back is just a small portion of our dedication of love back to them with this memorial. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Brandt with Arizona Public Service. It's an honor to be here this morning with you. To the families and loved ones of the 19 heroes we remember today, thank you. Thank you for sharing your loved ones with us. Please know that everyone here today stands with you in your loss. I imagine June 30, 2013 started just like any other day for you, but by nightfall, your world had darkened. Scripture tells us, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I hope that feeling our love, seeing the support of everyone here today, and dedicating this memorial to your loved ones can be the dawn of your morning, that it can be part of your joy and your healing. For the rest of us, this memorial will serve as a place where we can come, not only to honor the 19 brave sons, fathers, husbands, brothers, and friends who we lost on Yarnell Hill, but also to show our gratitude to all those who dedicate their lives to keeping our communities safe. These men lived their lives as part of something bigger. They offered their bravery and strength for the safety of the rest of us. It was in their DNA to be everyday heroes. They believed in Albert Einstein's adage, only a life lived in service to others is worth living. Crew 7 wasn't seeking honor or attention when they answered that early morning call to the Yarnell Hill fire, but that they perished protecting others will not be forgotten. Their courage is our protection, and we owe a debt of gratitude to them. We also owe a debt of gratitude to those whom they left behind. Your time with these heroes was far too short. We honor you for sacrificing your time with them and supporting them in what they love to do. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you today and for sharing the memory of the Granite Mountain Hotshots with the rest of us. May we leave here today with a great appreciation for all those who put their lives on the line to protect others. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real pleasure for me to be here. There was just one little point of clarification. I am no longer the fire chief in Prescott. However, the fire chief is here, and I'm sure that he would appreciate any words that you might have to say to him also. Much has been said already about the Hotshots. Much has been said about who they were, how they were, but let me give you a little bit more of a personal insight. We talk about dedication, we talk about courage, we talk about selflessness, etc., and those are absolutely true. But one of the things that I hope you'll understand about the Hotshots is that many of them came from areas or made mistakes in their lives that the Hotshot crew itself changed. In some ways, it changed the entire lifestyle of their thinking. They learned about family. In some cases, they didn't have any. They learned about leadership and followership. They learned discipline. And I can assure you, Eric Marsh was a disciplinarian. He wanted perfection, and he got perfection. They learned, I mentioned they learned family and teamwork, and if you go to the memorial site, you'll see that those gentlemen all died in the same area because leadership kept them together. And despite the fact that they were all victims, they were together when they died. Time and tears have in some ways lessened the impact of this horrible tragedy. We have 19 victims, but in reality we have hundreds of victims also. We talk about the families, their relatives, extended families. We can talk about the nation. We can talk about the world. I can tell you right now that we have 20 binders that are 4 inches thick, from letters, cards, from children, from adults, from governments, from fire service areas, from police departments, all over the world that are in an archive over in Prescott right now. There are plaques in Phoenix that have their names. There are plaques in Colorado Springs at the Firefighters Memorial that have their names. There are 19 graves in Prescott that have their names. But this is the real deal, and I am so happy that we have a place now that we can acknowledge not only what they did, whatever sacrifices they made. Remember, folks, these men were willing to take risks, not make sacrifices, as I just mentioned. They were willing to take risks. Unfortunately, the risks they took, and we'll never know the true answer to it, was one of those that caused these fatalities to take place. But they were willing to do it, and as it was mentioned before, they were willing to put themselves between them and whatever they had to save. Dedicated people. This is like a healing field for so many. We'll be able to come over here and we'll be able to think. Hopefully we'll be able to heal. And more importantly, I hope that we create some introspectiveness that sometimes we need to accept what happened, not judge it, and simply be thankful that we have people like that, and be happy that we have a location that anybody can come to from anywhere in the world and at least see what you can see. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
But I just wanted to say something quick to the families. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that ever happened. And I really hope that this state park does honor to the guys. Not just today, but for decades to come. I mean it. I'm sorry.